over the course of box cutting, many users have become used to just drawing a shape, extruding it, and then clicking to apply. Of course, you can press hotkeys such as Y to jump to extract, and now we have a custom cutter of this area that we just took out. However, there is now a new mode added called ReleaseLock where we can now draw the shape and it will just tab. And if we click again, it will jump to laser cut, allowing us to actually examine laser cut and what it gives us before we actually apply it for the first time ever. And so whenever ReleaseLock was first added, we did not have the jump to laser cut functionality. However, this has unlocked a whole new realm of possibility for allowing users to kind of examine what they're getting with their cutter before they actually send it through. So to show it in action, I just draw a cut and I just click and there's my laser cut. And of course I can still grab these dots to adjust and I can just click to apply. And the system, while it feels a little bit slower, I can assure you just feels so natural and can be quite a fun time, and I recommend for everyone to give it a try. So this mode definitely goes a lot further than just this. If we go under behaviors and we turn on quick execute, you can see that now whenever I draw, it jumps to extrusion and I'm able to modify the shape while it's actually still live. And this allows for a really interesting cookie cutter approach where at any time I could still just press tab and jump to live and make adjustments to this, but we're able to work so fluid compared to previous because we're able to just step through the process and really examine things. And so as we ensured that ReleaseLock worked with each behavior, we found that more and more potential was unlocked from this tool to us. So to show it in its non-quick apply state, we just draw a shape. We're exactly where we want. And I just can't get over being able to go to the other side of an object, sit here, look at it, and wait for my train to just come over here and hit me in the face with the red shape of this custom cutter that we just extracted from this. So, you know, this cube's getting pretty crazy, so we'll just draw a box here, press Y to change it to extract, and, you know, we'll just step this through the process very gradually. And so, you know, ReleaseLock isn't for those who are, you know, power users who are just trying to get through things quickly. ReleaseLock is more for a draw it out, sit there, think about it, kind of contemplate, and really perfect the boolean that you're getting on the way in, and then of course just click to apply or press spacebar. But ReleaseLock has had great care taken to ensure that it works with everything. So here we are drawing another shape here. We press R, Y to rotate, we drag this piece out and just scale it as we need, scale it in, and just get real abstract with this if we want. And that is ReleaseLock in a nutshell. So I've talked a lot about ReleaseLock and I hope to talk more about it in the future, but ReleaseLock is closely tied with quick execute and is also closely tied with laser cut lock. So whenever you have quick execute on, you can kind of get this whole ray of God kind of cutting mode where you can just cut completely through the model. And this is something that I just can't get enough of. It kind of fell into our laps by accident as we began working on refining the logic for every behavior to connect with each other as we added these systems to boxcutter. And you can always, of course, pause this, tab into edit mode, grab the shape, and move it and do all the things you would normally do. But being able to draw a shape and see it instantly go into laser cut and examine what you have is basically what this release has been all about. So I do hope that everyone enjoys this latest release of boxcutter and gives everything a try. So ReleaseLock here has a additional feature where if you shift click, it will toggle the laser cut lock as well. You won't see anything visually here. However, if you go under the settings, you'll see that under input, we have ReleaseLock and we have laser cut lock. So you can actually shift click this to check them both, or you can just click it off and on and it'll just keep the same parameters that you have. So I just want to demonstrate this just regular and then with laser cut lock. So if you click without extruding out, it will jump out into what we call laser cut, which is where it attempts to extrude through the form. However, there is an additional mode where if you shift click it, you can just draw it, click, and it will just go into the applied state and just apply. In this case, my fade time's a little high because I missed the fade. However, just clicking and applying is another way to approach it, and AR finds this to be optimal for tablet use. However, in my misinterpretation of it, I felt that this was a mode where we could draw it, pause it on laser cut, look at laser cut and kind of talk about what it is, bring things up, press T to add solidification, press G to move things around, click to apply, and just really think about things. In fact, we'll draw another cut here, and we'll just think about what we want to do here. Next thing I want to do is extrude. I want to press Y in order to change this into an extraction. And just by either clicking or pressing spacebar, I can extract this area and then reuse it here, where I can sit here and actually think about the shape I've drawn out and what I want to do with it going forward. So in this case, I want to click in order to extrude it out through to the other side. However, maybe I want to scale it up and try to get something even more unique. So right here, I'm scaling it to just play with the result here. We'll just click to apply and go and look at the back and just try this again. And so ReleaseLock has unlocked a whole new way of approaching boxcutter for people who want to just kind of step through the process and think about things and how they approach it, to just kind of come up with something more specific, more refined. And so, even with this area, I can just draw a box, pause it, bring it down, Y, change it to extract this area, and then use this as the custom cutter for refining this area, using the whole form as a guide of sorts. And I know this cube's been destroyed, but the case in point is that ReleaseLock extends to everything. Whether you're using snap dots in order to start with your shape, you can just bring it in, pause it, and just think about what it is that you're trying to do with things before progressing forward with your shape.